Alright, today I got a lengthy collection update video. We got 6 very large stacks to get through here. So we'll go ahead and do that. And with the sheer number of stacks that I have in here, I have the power cord ready to plug in the computer if I need it. It's not going to need it for quite a while probably, because we're at like 84% charge, but we'll see, because this is going to be quite long. So we're going to go ahead and start with this first stack right here. Have them stacked up alongside me here. Hopefully not in danger of falling off. That would really be bothersome. So anyway, here we go. Up first for my collection update video here is 2 days in the valley. I'm going to try and go through these as quickly as I can without talking too much about any particular titles. This is one I need to give a rewatch to because I don't remember a whole lot about it though. So there we go. Up next we have Two Guns with Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg. This is another one that I need to give a rewatch to. Oh, I need to show the backs of the cases as well, actually. Here's the back of this one. And here's the back of this one. It does have a slip cover, but I think it's the same underneath. Okay. The underneath just has the runtime for the case itself on this one. So, yeah, there's the back of that one. And then we got 9.5 Weeks here. I think there's also a movie called Another 9.5 Weeks. So, but this is just 9.5 weeks. So yeah, there we go. I'm gonna put this somewhere. It's kind of draped over my leg here. Up next, we have 10 Minutes Gone. This one I have watched fairly recently, and it is a action movie, like it says edge of your seat thriller, but I have it under just regular action movies, and I looked at it quite a bit. This guy was the Thing in the early 2000s for the Fantastic Four, and then Bruce Willis is Bruce Willis, awesome actor. And let's see here, what's next? Up next we have 12 Monkeys. This one is another Bruce Willis movie. This time he has Brad Pitt as one of his co-stars, and the 12 Monkeys is, Army of the 12 Monkeys is kind of like a terrorist group, sort of. And it's one of those time travel type stories. But it's kind of one of those closed loop things, because Bruce Willis ends up being killed in front of his younger self in the end. Like a child version of him, which is interesting. Yeah. The futuristic portion is set in 2035, and the past portion is set in 1996. So that's cool. Up next, we have 12 Years a Slave, and I don't think this one is set during the Civil War era, but even if it was, it's still gonna be here. There it is. Here's the back for 12 Monkeys. Okay. Up next, we have 21 and Over. Yeah, this is a Let's Get Stupid Drunk at age 21 type movie, with special emphasis on stupid. And then we have 21 Jump Street with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. I haven't gotten the sequel, 22 Jump Street, yet, but I kind of want to. And I kind of want to get both of them dual formatted. Here's the back of the case here. And then we have 40 Days and 40 Nights right here. And this one shows that abstinence can sometimes be hard, according to the movie at least. Then we have 127 Hours, which Deadpool spoils the ending of in his first movie. And just because it's set in the same time frame as a couple of my other movies, I have Last Stand of the 300 and Other Famous Greek Battles, 6 action-packed specials from the History Channel right here. Apparently these were airing from 2004 to 2009. 3-disc set. Haven't watched any of these ones yet, but the first disc is an hour and a half exactly, I think, or 91 minutes or something like that. And the reason it's with the R ratings is 300 and 300 Rise of an Empire right here. These I have seen, and these ones are both really good. But yeah, here's the back of the case in the front. And then we have About Last Night, and Rob Lowe is in this one, and so is Demi Moore. So Rob Lowe, of course, is the host of The Floor, or game show, which I believe is on Fox, if I'm not mistaken. But here we go. Obviously, this is long before the series The Floor came out. This is from 1986. So it's been a minute since this one came out. And up next we have a Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, and Ed Harris movie called Absolute Power. And I think this might be the only Clint Eastwood movie that I've seen so far. And I don't remember a whole lot about it other than what it says on the back here. It says he was where he shouldn't have been and saw what he shouldn't have seen. Now, who will believe the word of a career thief and ex-con? Who will trust Luther Whitney when he says he saw a woman killed, and that the man responsible for her death is the President of the United States? Clint Eastwood portrays Whitney and directs this crisp, finely acted thriller based on David I'm not sure how this is pronounced. Bald Axie, I guess. Best-selling novel. A stellar cast, which includes Gene Hackman and Ed Harris, creates well-rounded characters that intensify a constantly spiraling game of cat and mouse between Whitney, local police, and the highest levels of White House power. Eastwood is a master at steadily raising the stakes in thrillers. Here, his mastery is absolute. Up next, we have Adaptation with Nicolas Cage, Meryl Streep, and Chris Cooper. I know who 2 of those people are. I'm not familiar with Chris Cooper. But I haven't watched this one yet, but it looks interesting. So here it is. Cool. Up next, we have Addicted. And this one, I don't remember a whole lot about this one either. I did watch it once. Anyway, here we go. And up next we have Addicted to Her Love, which also has a bunch of other addictions, like they're mostly drugs and alcohol, which is sad. But here we go. And then we have Adore here, and this is a weird story. These two, I guess, are like best friends or something, and their sons, like, and her son is in love with her, and her son's in love with her. It's weird. Weird dynamic. And then we have Allied. This one is, when is this one set during? Looks like it's somewhat modern times. Hold on, let's see. If it has any indication on the back of the case here. It does not. Okay. Well, great movie. I remember watching it. Kind of a spy romantic spy story that's also a romantic thriller. Up next we have Almost Famous, and if there was a movie called Complicated Stories, the movie, you'd have Almost Famous. The story is fairly complicated. So here we go. Up next we have American Assassin, which I don't think I've actually watched yet, but I have the Blu-ray DVD combo for it. It's got Michael Keaton in it, and he was a big draw towards getting the movie because I like Michael Keaton stuff. Yeah, here we go. American Assassin. And it was only $1, so it's hard to argue with a good price like that. Then we got American Beauty right here. And this one is fairly creepy. Then we have American Made, based on a true lie about a cocaine smuggler. Or drug smuggler. I'm not sure if it's specifically coke or not. Because it's been a while since I watched this one. But there we go. Then we have the American Pie 9 movie collection. The case itself does look slightly different. Here. Has all 9 of those movies included, which are American Pie 1, American Pie 2, American Pie 3, Wedding, American Pie 4, Reunion, American Pie 5, Presents Bandcamp, American Pie 6, The Naked Mile, American Pie 7, Beta House, American Pie 8, Book of Love, and American Pie 9, Girls Rules, which is the only one that didn't have nudity in it, actually, not surprisingly enough. And then we have American Sniper, based on a true story. I don't believe I've seen this one, but I think it's based on a true. Is it based on a true story? Probably. Bradley Cooper, the voice of Rocket Raccoon, is in it. Is it based on a true story though? Probably. I think it is. Pretty sure it's based on a true story. Then we have up next Amnesia. This is a thinner case here. Haven't watched it yet, so I don't know really what to expect from this, but it sounds kind of cool. So, yeah, anyway. Moving on. Next up, we have Analyze This and Analyze That, which I believe is just a 2-movie collection and not like a trilogy or something. But I've watched Analyze This. I haven't watched Analyze That yet, so I might try and watch them back to back pretty soon, so I can do a ranking on the two of them with probably other titles as well. As soon as I showed which one was in last place, it'd be like, oh, the other one must be in first. Okay. Takes the intrigue value away. And then up next we have Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen. These are two of the 3 currently in existence Has Fallen movies. And I have them under Angel Has Fallen. That's the 3rd one. So let's go ahead and move this next stack over here. This next one's going to be pretty big too. A couple of these are like 1 or 2 cases shorter, but not very much shorter. As mentioned, next is Angel Has Fallen. This is what they're all sorted under because I got this one first, I think. Excuse me. And then I want to try and triple format the trilogy. I heard there's probably going to be a 4th one in this, a 4th installment in this franchise soon, but I haven't heard anything concrete about that yet, like trailers or anything like that. So anyway, up next we have Any Given Sunday with Cameron Diaz, Al Pacino, and Dennis Quaid, and Jamie Foxx, and a few others as well. And there we go. Looks like it's a football movie. Well then. That's a special director's cut version, apparently. Then we have Air Force One. This I have seen, and it is really cool. In fact, I think there's a scene in another movie that has like some meta commentary type stuff where it has President Ford, but instead of having the actual President Ford in the portrait, it has President Harrison Ford from this movie in it. Of course, he doesn't play himself. He plays someone else, but so it's not him playing Harrison Ford in the movie, but great movie. Really enjoyed that one. Up next, we have Atomic Blonde, and in the beginning of the movie, it shows a clip of when Gorbachev was told to tear down the Berlin Wall, and then and after that little news clip, it says, "But this is not that story," and it certainly does not seem to be. It has Charlize Theron, it has John Goodman, and James McAvoy in it, and a lot of ice bath scenes with the lead character there. Up next, we have 4 action movies. We have Attack Force, Into the Sun, The Russian Specialist, and Conspiracy. A few of these will come up again in a later segment with another group of movies that also includes Last Action Hero. I believe that's like a 20 movie collection, that the other copies of these are in. But these ones are under A for Attack Force. The others are under L for Last Action Hero with Schwarzenegger. So here we go. Here's the front and back of the case. And then we have up next Ava. And I think this one is a Kill or Be Killed assassin movie. Kind of like John Wick a little bit, but not quite as good as John Wick, because John Wick is phenomenal. Even Ballerina was really good. Thoroughly impressed with Ballerina from the world of John Wick, which I hope they make follow-ups to, because that one had a lot of cool explosions, and most of the John Wick movies don't have a lot of explosions, which is kind of sad. It's mostly gunplay in the core John Wick series. But up next we have Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. These are the only two that I have so far. I think there's like 4 in total. So I want to say there's Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys Ride or Die. Is there a Bad Boys 3 in between those two, or is it just the 4 of them? I'm not sure. Anyway, I have the first 2. They are on separate DVDs, which is nice. Sometimes you get stuff like that it's together on the same disc. And then up next we have A Bad Grandpa, and this one was like ludicrous funny. I was laughing a lot with that one. Up next is Bad Moms 1. I think there's a Bad Moms 2 in between this and Bad Moms Christmas, but I just have the Bad Moms and Bad Moms Christmas. And I haven't been able to find any trace of if there's a Bad Moms 2 in between these or not, but I'm fairly sure that there is. Anyway, I'll show that one again in a second, but here's the back of the case and the front of the case for this one. It had, the Christmas one has, what is his name, Justin Hartley from Tracker and Smallville in it. Of course, he was the first live-action Green Arrow in Smallville. And there we go. So here's Bad Mom's Christmas, and there's the original Green Arrow right there. And then we got Bad Teacher, starring Cameron Diaz, Justin Timberlake, and Jason Segel. Let's see if there's any other names on the back of here that I recognize, or if it's just those 3. Seems to be just those 3, but really fun movie. Up next is a double feature featuring Catherine and the Ballad of Andy Croker, which is what it's sorted under for these. I think the disc is sorted under this, but the case is sorted under this one. So there we go. Yeah, here we go. I'm excited to check those out. And then we have here The Bank Job. And for some reason, when I opened it, it said disc 1, the movie itself, but there wasn't a disc 2. But that's okay. It doesn't even indicate on the back of here what a disc 2 would have, which is probably a special features disc, but it has the movie itself. That's what I was interested in getting, so I did complete my goal when I got that one. Up next we have Barely Legal. Basic Instinct 1. And Basic Instinct 2. And then we have Baywatch right here. This is the movie version, not the TV show. Then we have Beer Fest. Yeah. Then we have the Beverly Hills Cops, or Cop 1, 2, and 3 collection. I don't know if there's a 4th one, but here's the trilogy, at least. There we go. I'll have to check those out soon. Then we have Big Love Season 1 and 2, and I think the case itself is this. The case under the slipcover is indeed different and has pictures on the inside as well. So here we go with this. There we go. Cool. And here's the back of the slipcover as well. Then here's Big Love Season 2. With the front and back. The case itself is, although, oh wait, there's multiple cases in here. Okay, so it has kind of two covers, or two different covers. Sneaky, sneaky. So here's the first one. Here's the second one. Third one. And the fourth one. That's all for that. There we go. All right. Up next we have Black Hawk Down. And I haven't watched this one yet, but it looks like an intense action movie. A World War II story, because it calls out, well, hold on. Maybe it's not a World War II story. 1993, set in 1993. Okay, so that's a few years since World War II. Just a few. And then we have Blade Runner, The Final Cut. And it's a stylized 21st century, I guess. Action-packed. Yeah. Not sure when the movie originally came out, but this particular cut came out in 2007. So here we go, front and back. Then we have Blitz with Jason Statham. He has a lot of really good action movies, so it's fun to check out his movies. And I think Jason Statham's the only one on the back of here that I recognize the name of. It is. Okay. Moving on then. Up next is a 4-movie collection here. It does have individual cases, so I'll be showing those in just a second. But here is the front and back of the box cover that it is in. And then, here we have the case for Deadly Drifter and Blood Tide with Danny Glover and James Earl Jones right here. And then the other case has The River Niger and Death of a Prophet with Louis Gossett Jr. and Morgan Freeman right here. Yeah. Interesting. It says saying rated PG-13 for 2 of them. It says rated 13, and one of them says rated 18, and the other one says rated R. That's kind of a odd little discrepancy. Last up for this stack is The Book of Eli, which I have 2 copies of actually. I got this one for $1, so it's hard to argue with $1 for a DVD, and it was in really good condition. So there we go. Time for the next stack here. Up next, we have The Boy Next Door with Jennifer Lopez. And who else is in here? Hers seems to be the only name that I have on the back here, unless this. Oh, wait, never mind. I was trying to figure that out earlier and couldn't figure it out. The Boy Next Door. And here's the back of the case. I thought the blonde here looked familiar, but I thought it was Charlize Theron, and it's not. So Up next is Braveheart with Mel Gibson, from 1995. Brutal medieval warfare, including, I believe, some beheadings. So there we go. I believe his character ends up getting beheaded in the end. Up next is Bridesmaids, and I want to say I watched the theatrical cut, but haven't revisited the unrated one. But there's a 6-minute difference between the rated and the unrated versions. The regular one is 2 hours and 5 minutes, and the unrated is 2 hours and 11. Up next, we have Bridget Jones's Diary, which I think is part of a trilogy. I know there's at least 2 in this series, because I have the second one here as well. I have seen them both, but I don't know if it's a trilogy or just 2-movie collection, a duology, if you will. Anyway, here's this. I was trying to find a release year on the back here. Doesn't seem to say what year this came out. But anyway, moving on. Up next, we have Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason. I feel like there's a third one after this. This one came out in 2004, so the other one must have been before that, because I think on the back here it says, I can't tell what it says on the back because there's a sticker covering some of it. Dang it. Oh well. But I'm pretty sure this one is the second entry. There might be a third, there might not. I honestly don't know. I'd have to look it up. Anyway, here we go. Up next, we have Caligula. I watched it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. This is the rated R version, which apparently there's different versions. But I don't know if there's like a PG-13 version or if there's a rated R and an unrated or something like that. Something to that effect. But it's yeah. It's set in ancient Roman times, Imperial Roman, as it says. The epic story of Rome's mad emperor. I don't remember who exactly that was. I know I watched it, but anyway. There you go. If you want, you can try and pause and read that. It might be a little too blurry to read it though, but here's the front of it there. Yeah. I enjoyed the movie. And then up next looks like a 4-movie collection with Camouflage, Bruno, Starstruck, and The Almost Perfect Bank Robbery. Right here. I believe he's the guy from the original Naked Gun movies. Was it a trilogy? I don't know. I don't know Liam Neeson's in the remake. But yeah. Anyway. I think I tried watching one of these and couldn't figure out how to get to these 3. I couldn't figure out how to get to these 3. It just showed the menu for this one, which is weird. But that's okay. Anyways, moving on. Up next is Camp X-Ray. I think the case looks the same as the slipcover. It does. Okay. So Camp X-Ray right here. Yeah. And up next is Casanova. I haven't watched this one yet, but it seems to be set sometime in the past. There's one of those ding stickers on the cover of it. Looks like 18th century. So, let's see, we're in the 21st century, so I'm guessing like 1700s or so for the time frame of this one. But yeah, here we go. And up next we have Casualties of War. This one's a Vietnam War time era story, or Korean War maybe. So I think oh wait, no. Vietnam War. Okay. It has Michael J. Fox and Sean Penn. Of course, Michael J. Fox was the star, or one of the stars of the Back to the Future trilogy, playing Marty McFly. And the Back to the Future, yeah, it mentions Back to the Future on the back of the case here. It came out in, I think, 2001, it looks like. So there we go. And up next we have Centurion, Roman Britain, 117 AD. History is written in blood, with Michael Fassbender and Dominic West. And Olga, not sure how that last name's pronounced right here. But it's a survival thriller. It's also a really old Blu-ray, because you can tell from the way the case looks, they don't look like this anymore. They look more like this one now, but we'll get to that in just a second. Up next, we have Chaos, with Jason Statham and Wesley Snipes and Ryan Phillip, or Felipe, I guess. What else? Wesley Snipes and Jason Statham are the only two that I recognize the names of for this one. But here we go. And then up next we have Chappie. No, I didn't realize Hugh Jackman was in this. Or maybe I did. He's kind of right on the front of the case there. Hugh Jackman, right here. But Sigourney Weaver's also in here. I think this is part of a trilogy. Like the Blomkamp collection or something. Blomkamp. Is that right? District 9. Yeah, I think this is like District 9, Elysium, and Chappie are all together. But anyway, moving on. I don't want to spend too much time on any one title because after this stack, I still have 3 more giant stacks to go through from here on over. So here we have Just Changeling, Angelina Jolie and John Malkovich. I thought it was The Changeling, but it's Just Changeling. And this one's a true story, apparently. So that's kind of cool. Let's see, Angelina Jolie. Music by Clint Eastwood. I didn't know he did music. And those two are the only ones I recognize. It's John Malkovich and Angelina Jolie. Okay then. Moving on. We have The Change Up, and this is an R-rated body swapping movie where Jason Bateman switches bodies with Ryan Reynolds' character, and Ryan Reynolds' character is quite the player, apparently. Yeah, really funny movie. I watched both versions and was laughing a lot during both iterations. And then we have Charlie Wilson's War with Tom Hanks, Julia Roberts, and Philip Seymour Hoffman, based on an outrageously true story, or outrageous true story, I guess, right here. That's cool. I did watch this one, but it's been a lot. It's been like 3 or 4 years since I watched, or actually I think 3.5 years since I watched it. I watched it shortly after getting off my mission. And I got off my mission in 2022. So I guess it would be about 4 years though. So anyway, moving on, we have Chasing Amy, which is apparently the 3rd installment of the New Jersey trilogy. I can't find any traces of what the first 2 movies in this trilogy are. Maybe it's Clerks, Mallrats, and Dogma, but that would make this the 4th one. So I really don't know. But it has Ben Affleck, Jason Lee, and what else is in here? Joey Lauren Adams. She's the girl in the background there. Yeah. Anyway, I haven't watched it because it's the 3rd installment of a trilogy, and I would be super lost in the storyline, having not even knowing what the first 2 are. So that would make it a challenging watch if I just jumped right into the end of a trilogy like that. Anyway, up next is Clerks. I was surprised that this one was in black and white. I thought for sure it was in color, but this one was referenced in, what was it? Oh, quite a bit on the floor, because the lead guy, what's the guy's name? Brian, this guy, was in a bunch of the floor episodes for a while. He was the reigning champion for quite a while there. Anyway, moving on. Up next, we have Clockwork Orange. This title will show up again when we get to the horror ones, because I have a Blu-ray case that has this. I want to say 2001: A Space Odyssey and something else in it as well. So this one will be showing up again. I started watching it, but I haven't finished it. I need to go back and finish it. I want to say I got less than halfway through. It's 137 minutes. So I want to say I got like maybe like 50 minutes to an hour in or something like that. Worth finishing though. Then up next we have Closer with Julia Roberts, Natalie Portman, Jude Law, and Clive Owen. I don't know who Clive Owen is, but I recognize the other 3 names. This is another one that I started but haven't watched all the way through yet. So that might be a recurring pattern moving forward with some of these. And then we have Cold Pursuit on DVD and Blu-ray here. Liam Neeson action movies. A lot of his action movies are fairly generic, where he's basically playing Brian Mills with a different character from Taken with different character's name, but basically same characterization, same motives and whatnot. So that's one of those Liam Neeson action movies. And then we got Arc of Triumph and Cold Sweat. Arc of Triumph is PG, Cold Sweat is rated R. Hence its placement with the R ratings. Cold Sweat. Up next we have Confidence, and Dustin Hoffman is in this one. Right here. Here's the back of the case as well. And then we have Conviction with Hilary Swank, Sam Rockwell, and those are the 2 names that I recognize. So there we go. think the case is slightly... Oh, wait, it's one of the weird, like, Blockbuster cases, okay. Blockbuster. That should have given me why the case feels kind of strange. Then we have The Corruptor with Mark Wahlberg and Chow Yun-fat. Right here. So yeah, there we go. Don't know a whole lot about this particular one, but excited to check it out. And then we have Coupling Season 1, and this one is fairly awkward to watch. I think it's all on one disc too, so I think I left one space for a second season afterwards, but there we go. I think, yeah, just one disc. Also, it has kind of like a deep bluish case there that more or less matches the L right here. Kind of that color case, which is cool. It's not very often you see blue cases like that. They're for DVDs. And even fewer times do you see a solid blue case. Usually they're transparent blue. Anyway, here we have Cradle the Grave 2. I haven't been able to find Cradle the Grave 1 yet, but I really want to try and track that one down and watch them back to back so I get the full story for the first, or between the two. I don't know if there's a third one, but I know there's at least two because this is the second, which implies there is a first. And later on in another video, you'll notice when I go through my my G through PG-13 titles, you'll notice that I have Daddy's Home 2, but not the first one yet, which is funny. I got both of them. I got both that and Cradle of the Grave 2 at a yard sale for like 25 cents each. So here we go. Up next is Crank 1, Jason Statham action movie. There's a lot going on in this one. It's kind of hard to explain. It's a hardcore action classic, though. I'll read you the description so that you can kind of see why it's such a hardcore action movie here. There are 1,000 ways to raise your adrenaline, and today, Hitman Kelios, Jason Statham's character, will need every one. We'll need every one of them. He has 1 hour to settle the score and say goodbye to his girl and go out with a little style. The only question is, will he stay alive long enough to see it happen? So yeah, there we go. That one I have seen. Same with the sequel here, Voltage, or Crank 2 High Voltage. Kind of more of the same. So here we go. Both are really awesome action movies that have a bunch of really stupid ideas in them of ways to try and cheat death. So yeah. Moving on to stack number 4 here. This one is also quite large. And because a couple of the Dukes of Hazzard movies have been R-rated, I have the series and the R-rated versions also over here. But before we get to those, we have Da Vinci's Demons Season 3, and I think this is the third and final season. But I'm not sure how many discs would be in Season 1 and Season 2. I believe this one had like 3 discs, I want to say. But here we go. It has a slipcover that we'll be taking off to see exactly how many discs were in here. 3. Okay. But it has a design on the inside there. That's cool. And this is where I found out it has 3 discs, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I haven't been able to find seasons 1 and 2 yet, but I'm keeping my eye out for those because I do want to have at least the first or 3 seasons, assuming there aren't any seasons beyond that. I want to have all 3 seasons. Up next, we have another 4-movie high-powered action collection with Dead Man, Equilibrium, Renaissance, Paris 2054, and Texas Rangers right here. Which I think one of these has Johnny Depp as the leading guy, one has Christian Bale, one has Daniel Craig, and the other has Usher Raymond and Ashton Kutcher. So there we go. And all except Texas Rangers are rated R. So Texas Rangers is PG-13. So that's cool. Up next, we have Dead Presidents, which I need to check out soon. I've heard it's one of the best, like, was it bank heist things? Yeah, I think it's like a bank heist movie. I've heard this is one of the best bank heist movies out there. In this daring heist, the only color that counts is green. Right here. Cool. Up next, we have a triple feature with Deliver Us from Eva, Something New, and The Best Man. So there we go. Here's that, and the back here. Trying to see if I recognize any of the names off the top of my head here. Terrence Howard is in The Best Man. He was the original Rhodey in the MCU, but he ended up getting recast because he wanted more money than RDJ was making by about triple. And then we have Demolition Man with Stallone and Snipes, and Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes, and then Over the Top also with Stallone here. So I'm looking forward to checking those out. Over the Top is PG. Demolition Man with the R rating here. Then we have Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Harder. And here's the backs of the cases as well. Die Hard 3 with a Vengeance, right there. Live Free or Die Hard unrated DVD. Also includes the PG-13 version. Then we have a Blu-ray for Live Free or Die Hard. This one is just a theatrical cut. Then we have A Good Day to Die Hard extended cut. This one is the theatrical is rated R, and the extended cut is, of course, not rated. Anyway, I've seen the regular versions of all 5 of those, and they're all really good. And then we have a 4-movie Dirty Harry collection with Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, The Enforcer, and Sudden Impact. I have seen The Enforcer, I believe. Is there a particular one I should watch these in? I honestly don't know. And then, because of one of the titles listed on this Dirty Harry 5 movie collection, which is the same as those ones plus one other, I have it in my Marvel, or the discs under Marvel, because the one that's in this one that made me decide to put it with the Marvel is the Deadpool, right there. All movies rated R. So again, I've only seen the Enforcer from those collections. And then we have District 9. I was right, Neil Blomkamp. I was trying to figure that out with Chappie a little bit ago. So there we go. District 9. I do also have a DVD for it, but I only got the Blu-ray case. Then we have Keira Knightley, Mickey Rourke, and Edgar Ramirez in Domino. Mickey Rourke, of course, was Whiplash in Iron Man 2. And Keira Knightley's been in a bunch of stuff. I couldn't even begin to tell you how many different things. But on the back, it calls her out for Pirates of the Caribbean, so we're going to go with that as where I know her from, because I have seen the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise 1 through 5. She's in the first 3, I think, and then I think she shows up briefly in 5 at the end. But anyway, then we have Doom with a really good first-person shooter sequence somewhere near the middle of the movie. I also have a DVD, but of course I kept the Blu-ray case there. Then we have Downsizing with Matt Damon. Who else is in there? Kristen Wiig is in here. Who else? Those are the 2 names I recognize. Okay, here we go. Downsizing. Then we have Django Unchained by Quentin Tarantino, written and directed by Quentin Tarantino. This one has Jamie Foxx, DiCaprio, and Samuel L. Jackson. All right, there we go. I need to give this one a rewatch because I kind of do, kind of don't remember much about it. I know it's set during slavery times, I think, where Django's wife is a slave to, I believe, DiCaprio's character. But yeah, so I need to give this one a rewatch to refresh my mind on that one. And then we have the Dukes of Hazzard, the beginning. I kind of like this version of Daisy Duke. Of course, she doesn't hold a candle to the original. None of these casts do. But let's see, who played her? She is played by April Scott. So here we go. Right there. And we have the PG-13 version of the Johnny Knoxville and Sean William Scott, Jessica Simpson, Dukes of Hazzard movie. This is the PG-13 cut of it. I also have the unrated cut right here. And those 2 being unrated, excuse me, are why the complete series is under the R ratings. Because those 2 have R ratings. Here's the seasons 1 through 4 box number 1 here. Classic series. Great show. I think I've seen 3 of the first 2 seasons all the way, but lots of good heart and humor. And here's box number 2 with seasons 5 through 7 right there. Very cool. And the other versions don't hold a candle to these 3 here, nor could they. And then here is that same cast returning many years later. Trying to see here. In 97 and 2000 with the original cast with Dukes of Hazzard Reunion and the Dukes of Hazzard in Hollywood. Right there. I haven't checked these two movies out yet, but they're more so linked with the show than the other ones are. So there you go. We are just over an hour, and we're 4 stacks in. I should be able to get the rest of these done before the 2-hour and 45-minute mark. So here we go. Here's the second to last pile here. Well, speaking of the other Blumkamp movies, we have Elysium here. And I watched this one a long time ago when I first got it. I think I want to say I got it in like 2018 and watched it almost immediately. Lots of really good cyborg action. Set in the year 2154. So yeah, there we go. Very cool. I remember it being a very good movie. I just don't remember a whole lot about it because it's been 2018 ago since I've seen it. So that's 8 years. Wow, time flies. Then we have Enemy at the Gates. Enemy at the Gates. My bad. I don't think I pronounced the S on the end of there for the first time. With Jude Law, Rachel Reeves, Bob Hoskins, Ed Harris, and Joseph Fiennes. Set in 1942, so it's a Nazi era story. And it's good to learn from the many mistakes of the Nazis so that we don't repeat them. Perhaps a few times. Then we have Equalizer 1, 2, which I have a Blu-ray of as well, but I don't have the Blu-ray case for it because when I got it at the yard sale, it was just a disc in really good condition. And Equalizer 3. Is there an Equalizer 4, or are there only 3 of them? I think there might only be 3 because this one came out in 2023. So maybe there is a 4th. I don't know. I know there's a 4th movie. What is the franchise? Expendables. I know there's an Expendables 4. We'll get to the first 3 here in a second, but I have DVDs and Blu-rays for the first 3. Then we have a 4-movie collection of extreme action movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger in Eraser, Bruce Willis and Damian Wayans in The Last Boy Scout, Wesley Snipes in Passenger 57, and Bridget Fonda in Point of No Return. Here we go. All of them are rated R for different reasons. And we're moving on. Up next, this one was really good. Aaron Brockovich. This one points out corruption in a small town that ends up like poisoning some of the residents with poor water quality. And based on a true story. She brought a small town to its feet and a huge company to its knees. So yeah, great story. And the original Erin Brockovich is actually in the movie, but she's not playing herself. Julia Roberts plays the title character. Then we have Escape Plan 1. Oops, here's the back of the case as well. Then we have Escape Plan 3, The Extractions on Blu-ray DVD combo. I want to try and get the whole trilogy dual formatted with Blu-rays and DVDs, so one of them is done. The other 2 are not. I don't even have the second one yet, so there we go. This one has, the first one has Stallone and Schwarzenegger. This one has Stallone and and Batista. So yeah, there we go. Dave Batista. And then we have this one I have triple formatted already, which was my goal, and that is Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, a non-comic booky multiverse story. They call it a metaphysical multiverse galaxy. And in one of the universes, apparently our hands are sausages, or our fingers are sausages, like sausage links type stuff. Interesting. There we go. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Then we have my DVD trilogy collection for the Expendables 1, 2, and 3. The third one, I think, is the only one in the franchise to be rated PG-13. I think 1, 2, and 4 are all rated R. But yeah, there we go. And I want to show the individual ones together because they make this awesome pattern with all three cases side by side like this with the slip covers, which is why even if I get the 4Ks, I'm keeping these cases because these are just super awesome cases. I love these cases, the slip covers. I think the case underneath, yeah, just has the same picture from same pictures from these on the cases themselves. But those slip covers, dude, they are so cool. I got them for like $2 each, which is awesome. Then I got the Blu-ray trilogy collection here for the first three. Then we have Ex Machina, which I want to try and get the 4K combo of, like I did with Everything Everywhere All at Once. This one's also a really great movie. Yeah. Moving on, we have Factory Girl, set in the 1960s. And yeah, there's that. Yeah. I don't think I recognize any of the names of the people. Oh wait, Guy Pearce is in this. I recognize his name. Hayden Christensen. Oh, Anakin Skywalker's in here as well. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Up next, we have Faster and Mechanic on DVD. I actually have 2 DVDs of Faster and Mechanic, but the other ones are in a 4-movie collection. I also have a Blu-ray for Faster, which is what these are all sorted under. But here we go. These are both radar. And then we have Faster, Mechanic, Drive, and Parker right here. I'll go ahead and mention the cast for these now. Faster has Dwayne The Rock Johnson in it, and Billy Bob Thornton. Maggie Grace as well. And then Mechanic has Jason Statham, Simon West, Ben Foster, Donald Sutherland. So quite a few names I recognize there. Drive has Ryan Gosling, Christina Hendricks. Those are the 2 names. And Oscar Isaac. Those are the 3 names that I recognize on that one. And Parker has Jason Statham again, as well as, who else? Jennifer Lopez. And those are the 2 names that I recognize from there, and they're also mentioned on the front of the case. And then, as I mentioned, I do have a Blu-ray for Faster, which made me want to dual format the other 3, but I haven't been able to do it yet. Then we have A Few Good Men right here. The 50 Shades trilogy. I'm trying to get them all triple formatted. So far, I just have one of them triple formatted, and that is the second one. Then we have Fight Club right here. First rule about Fight Club, don't talk about Fight Club, so we're moving on. Up next, we have The First King right here. says it's not rated, but it looks like it's pretty brutal and violent. I can't really read whose these names on the back of here are, so it's just kind of blurry on the back. So moving on. Up next we have Flashdance, and this movie has one of my favorite songs to dance to from the Just Dance Summer Party in it, and that is Maniac, because it is such a funny, wacky dance to do. Really fun movie as well. Deadpool 2 references this particular sequence, but instead of it raining down water like it does on her, it rains down bullet casings on Deadpool from already spent rounds, not live rounds. Or maybe it was live rounds knowing Deadpool. Anyway, then we have A Fond Kiss right here. This one I haven't watched yet. And it is much clearer on this one on who's in here, so I might be able to tell you if I recognize any of these actors' names, and I do not. Okay. Moving on, we have Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and this one's just okay. It's got Jason Segel, Christian Bell. I don't remember what this guy's name is, but he's in it too from Bedtime Stories. Yeah, the sleep panic disorder. Anyway, yeah, I watched the theatrical version and it was weird. There is also an extended cut on there, but I haven't checked that one out yet. Anyway, up next is Fortress. This one has one of these weird style cases. It's set in 2017. Came out in 1992, so it's kind of trying to be futuristic, but I'm not sure if it met its mark or not, because it might be a stylized future and not how it actually was. Because it looks like there's a giant robot monster here, and we don't have those. Anyway, who's in this one? We have Christopher Lambert, and his is the only name I recognize on here, because I've seen him in a few other things. Anyway, moving on. Last stack, home stretch, people. We got lots to go through here, though. We got Ice Cube and Chris Tucker in Friday, which was, I should say, the AI that Iron Man used after Jarvis became the Vision. Of course, he used the AI Friday from that point on. Hour and a half, not a huge time commitment there. Then we have up next Friends with Benefits, Fury and the Monuments Men. Fury rated R, this one's PG-13, so I put under the R rating there. I have 2 copies of Monuments Men, though. Then we have Game Night. This complete series, all 8 seasons. Right there. And for right now, for right now, I'm just going to set these facing the proper direction. Front of the case, facing out. Then we have The Girl Next Door. This one had a cardboard slipcover thing on it, on the bottom of it. I do have 2 copies. They're both the same ones, just one didn't have the little cardboard slipper thing. Oh, you know what? That's supposed to go right there. Okay. Anyway, moving on. I usually just have that at the bottom of the thing. Then we have A Girl Like Grace, The Girl on the Train, Girls, the complete series. I know I've shown these all before, so I'm just going to show them like that. Also, in my video yesterday, I showed that I had, or that Man-Thing came in, and I watched it yesterday. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think the accents were terrible, but I thought the story was a bit clunky. But I personally enjoyed it, and Man-Thing in that has a practical suit instead of being CGI like he is in Werewolf by Night. So it's kind of cool to see an actual like physical costume person for that. Then we have Girls Trip. This one's hilarious. Right here. Yeah. Then we have Gladiator 1. I want to try and get Gladiator 2. But there we go. And then we have the Godfather trilogy. Godfathers 1, 2, and 3 here. I haven't watched any of these yet. But I do have content warnings for them for when I do check them out, that there will be a few moments to skip. And then we have God's Gun and Kid Vengeance, both of which are rated R on the same DVD. So there we go. You need to check those out at some point. Then we have Good Boys right here. And then we have Going the Distance with Drew Barrymore and Justin Long. This is a rom-com. There we go. And last for this video, we have The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and Hang 'em High, both from Clint Eastwood. One is PG, one is rated R. I think. Yes, PG for Hang 'em High, R for rated R for Good, Bad, and Ugly. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So there we go. And it doesn't seem to list more of the extended cast, except, well, actually it does on Good, Bad, and the Ugly. It says it also has Eli Walsh and Lee Van Cleef. I don't recognize those two names at all. But that is it for this video. My goodness, we just went through all of this from here all the way over to there. Wow. And I didn't end up having to plug this in at all to charge it, because now it's down to like half battery, but 48%. It was at like 83 when I started, so cool. Okay. So that is it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I want to give you guys a code word for if you guys make it all the way through the video here. The code word that I'm going to be giving you to put into the comments section is going to be, it's going to be a code phrase. That code phrase is going to be Dukes of Hazzard is amazing. So spell the title of the show as the Dukes of Hazzard, and then put is amazing afterwards in the comments section down below to prove that you made it all the way through this video to receive the code phrase. And I'll be putting that code phrase in the description as well. So there we go. Catch you guys in the next video. Keep talking movies. We all know I'm going to. And Lego. I talk Lego a lot too, so there you go.